Alright, CNET, got for you today scenario 7. Well, for this year at least. Future generations, not so much. Alright, so I'm going to be covering VLANs. So, VLANs are pretty simple. They are virtual LANs. So you can configure these on a switch to segment a network without actually having to physically segment it, which is why it's called a virtual LAN. So to begin, you'll have to go into global configuration mode like normal, and then you typically want to name your VLANs. So in order to do that, you have to type in VLAN, and then whatever VLAN you wish to create, you put that number in. For this sample, I'm going to use 570. I'm going to use the name command, and then name that VLAN whatever I want. In this case, I'll name it Help Desk. Now that VLAN will be named Help Desk. Now I need to assign a port to that VLAN. I'm going to assign FA01 to VLAN 570. To do that, I'm going to make it an access port using the switch port mode access command. I'm going to do switch port access VLAN 570. This will set that to be an access port for VLAN 570. An access port only allows the VLAN that you configure to communicate on it. This is in opposition to what is known as a trunk port, which will let multiple VLANs cross it. So for this example, I have prepared the gigabit interfaces on these switches to act as trunks, so I'll show you how to configure that now. So you go into that interface and you do switch port mode trunk. And then you do switch port trunk allowed VLAN, and then you have to state the VLANs you want allowed in this trunk. In this case, we just have VLAN 570, but in situations where you have more VLANs, you might do something like 20, 40, 50, 60, and they all have to be separated by commas, and that will define what VLANs are allowed on that trunk link. The next major part of VLANs are switch virtual interfaces. And I gotta power on this switch real quick. There we go. Just gotta wait for it to load up now. Okay. So, the most important part in order to get it working is you must issue the IP routing command. This is going to let your layer-free switch perform routing capabilities, which is essential for inter-VLAN routing. Then, we're going to use the interface command, but we're going to specify a VLAN this time. So we're going to go into the interface for VLAN 570. We're going to make sure it's not shut down. And we're going to give it an IP address. In this situation, I'm just going to do 00.172.16.01. Just going to make it classful. And that's all you have to do for a switch virtual interface. Now, you can assign that IP address that you just gave, that switch virtual interface, to the default gateway on your PC. And if you have enough VLANs set up, assuming there's no ACLs, you'll be able to communicate between those VLANs. So that's it for VLANs. Good luck on the scenario.